Good evening, everybody. With every passing week, this season seems more certain to echo in eternity for Napoli, along with the glory years of the late 80s and early 90s. The staggering lead in Serie A seems unassailable, but what if they could conquer Europe as well? Eintracht Frankfurt simply have it all to do to bar Napoli's way into the last eight. He's through. Napoli starting in a more secure lead. 3 clubs from Serie A in the last 8 would of course mean only 1 from the Bundesliga. After Leipzig were dismantled last night and Borussia Dortmund bowed out at Stamford Bridge. Liverpool in the UEFA Champions League, Inter and Lazio in Serie A, Cremonese here heroically in the Coppa Italia. A similar exploit required by Eintracht here, but stand by for the cavalry charge. Napoli have the ball and they have the lead, and we get underway in this wondrous arena. Zambo Anguissa on the edge of the box, little bit of space for Politano. It's still alive, it comes back off Trapp's gloves and Gavaccelli was onto it.
What Frankfurt they don't want to concede early. They know that Napoli will come at them quick. They have to make sure.
Taken by Lentz. Decent delivery, if not end product.
It's a real cliche in games like the framework in place, and then he lets the players decide depending on where the space is, and players have to be very clever to be able to do that.
Gavaccelli with space.
And he'll know that he likes to cut in from the wing.
Politano driving right into the penalty box.
And there's quite a lot of passing patterns between those two.
Gavaccelli into the space. Osimhen! Trapp made a great adjustment there, and this time the ball did stick.
Sometimes as a forward, the best thing that you can...
So, shut down. Tremendous tackle by Zielinski. Gavaccelli again, menacing. And almost delivering, but Trapp was so cool, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it talks that Trapp needs to be on top form, which he was in the Europa League campaign last season.
Of you know who, the man in whose honour this stadium is now named. Trapp. It is Zielinski. Zambo Anguissa attacked it.
It's like it was the same, and Napoli worked it out.
Terrific ball by Kamada. Götze almost seemed to hesitate. Zielinski drove a long way. Gavaccelli now! And Trapp measures it to perfection, the goalkeeper to deny him.
And that was all made. Zielinski, great little turn in the full-back area.
Napoli corner. Trapp was there again. Off the shins of Rode. Lobotka to the outside. Politano. Crosses right-footed. Osimhen had to reach for it. Did he ever reach for it? Is that the key moment to send Napoli into the last 8? Right on the stroke of half-time. Osimhen does it again. Goal number 22.
Tell you what a header that was. He had to get all the power by himself, Osimhen, and he has worked so hard in this first half. Not really got that much of a chance in front of goal. Brilliant play down the right-hand side. And again, what a great little ball that is. Politano had a look. He knew exactly where Osimhen was. He wasn't marked. That's bad from Eintracht's point of view, but it was behind Osimhen. And we're talking about trapping goal. We've talked about how good this goalkeeper is.
For Eintracht Frankfurt to save their hopes in the UEFA Champions League. Here we go.
Dynamic, dangerous, exciting. He's got pace.
Kin from the back, all the way forward. The centre-forward's not too happy with him.
He nearly looked like a centre-forward then until he finished like a centre-back.
Kamada had to help out. That's not good though. Lobotka. Gavaccelli. Picked up Politano. Here's the captain again, Di Lorenzo. Brilliant! Osimhen turns it in. Napoli, too good, too powerful, too polished. on the night.
Again, it's terrific play down the right-hand side. Politano, Di Lorenzo. Osimhen just looked like he fell awkwardly onto his arm. Hopefully that's not serious, but it's just slick. Great movement. Kvaratskhelia on the left-hand side. It's a clever little ball, and it's all then about the movement between those two down the right. Quick ball, early ball across. That's what. But surprise, but he just fell onto his arm, didn't he?
Now rolled it in there. So to Rafael Boy, nicely done, and Kamada had the chance. He may have been offside. Merritt wasn't to know either way.
Yeah, he just seemed to be taking a bit too much care over the finish.
Cup record in Germany. They've got a cup tie against Union Berlin in the quarter-final. They need to win that one. Here's Kamada. Boro trying to invent something, improvise the overhead kick.
Yeah, Napoli have one weakness. It's the other side of.
Back to the whiz kid. And on he goes! Trafford full strip with a super save.
Kvaratskhelia, when he just.
Kvaratskhelia, they're queuing up again for Napoli. Zielinski goes over. It is a penalty.
I think it was so. They had bodies round the ball, Frankfurt, but just tempted for a little nibble there.
In the first game. Zielinski. That's a full-throated roar. The stadium erupts, and Napoli now are hitting their peaks.
If it wasn't comfortable before, it certainly is now. But doing a little bit of complaining. I'm not really sure what they've to complain about. Just a little nibble. Zielinski, after being fouled, gets up and takes the penalty himself. We know how good a penalty stopper Trapp is, but eased it past him. Straight down the middle.
Pride to see the club that he has rebuilt in so many ways. There's still so much to do for Napoli. A warning to Europe tonight. Europe beware. State. And who would fancy meeting Napoli here above all? Who'd relish it? Somebody's going to have to do it. Good luck. 3-0 on the night. Napoli cruise through on aggregate by 5 goals to 0.